Hi everyone, I'm Nisha Vasani and welcome to our special series discussing all things skin of color with Dr. Vanita Rattan. Today we are discussing facial pigmentation and the amazing kit. Welcome and how have you been?
I'm very well. Thank you so much for having me today.
So this is the special facial pigmentation kit. What inspired you to launch this and how has it been received by everybody?
Okay, so what inspired me was, first of all, I had my own clinic treating hyperpigmentation for skin of color. And during COVID, when everyone was closing their clinics because of lockdowns, I had, was wondering what to do with my time. So that's when I started educating on YouTube. And that's when I started investigating other brands. To be honest, until that point, I was very in my own lane. I didn't really look at other brands and what they were doing because I was so engrossed in skin of color. But when I got asked the question, Dr. V, what do you do when you have, a blemish or pigmentation from acne or melasma? What products should we use? And I started investigating ingredients lists, so the inky list. I realized a lot of them weren't great. Some of them would market an ingredient that was at very low percentage and unlikely to be working. Others would use maybe one tyrosinase inhibitor, which isn't really enough for skin of color. So, I would start off by saying, start with the cheap products first. I would never say start with facial pigmentation kit because it's an expensive product. This is your second line treatment, not first line treatment. First line treatment would be things like use your 2% alpha arbutin first, use your tranexamic acid first, use your 10%, 5% niacinamide first. That's your first line treatment. Start cheap first. But if that doesn't work and it is unlikely to be that effective for pigmentation for skin of color, especially one that's been there for many years, then you need something to upgrade to. And there was nothing to upgrade to. Our kit has got 10 tyrosinase inhibitors in them, and there is no product that has all of these ingredients at the correct percentages for skin of color, which is why I decided to make it. And so we created a whole series of pigmentation kits. I've got dark circles kit for skin specifically for periorbital pigmentation around the eye area, the facial pigmentation kit for pigmentation on the face, body pigmentation kit for pigmentation on the body, because the skin is different in every area and the how resistant the pigmentation is different too. So that's my long-winded answer to why I created the facial pigmentation kit.
Fabulous. So let's show everyone at home how it works.
Oh, so this is our new packaging. I'm so excited about
this
it.
new packaging.
So it's airless pumps, which means less mess. And this was what was highly recommended by all of our followers. And so, of course, I do everything my followers asked me to do. And this was one of their number one requests. So that's what we've done. And I love it. So basically, it's 2 nights a week you apply your HPC Clear, 1 night a week you apply your Vita Ace, and they work in conjunction with each other. So one is basically your tyrosinase inhibitors to calm the melanocyte down. And then the other cream is to create a healing environment for the skin. So they work in conjunction at different pHs, which is why you can't put everything you need into one product.
So how does the facial pigmentation kit work with your daily range?
Really great question. So basically you do your double cleanse at night. So you start off with your oil melting cleanser first, and then you use your Micellar Gel Wash. So that's your double cleanse done. That's how you remove your makeup and sunscreen. Then you go in with your super hydrating toner. So this is important because it soothes the skin. It's got 3 different anti-inflammatories in it, which is exactly what we need, plus niacinamide. Then you want to go in with your facial pigmentation kit. Yeah.
Right.
So you basically soothe the skin now with your toner, and now you use your treatment creams and serums. On top of this, you apply your antioxidant power serum. This is optional, but I love it. It helps to lock in all the ingredients. Plus, it's got 4 different antioxidants in it too. So it's only going to boost the skin.
Right.
And lastly, this is really important. You want a NAF-safe fatty moisturizer. So this is Cera-Pep. NAF-safe means no denatured alcohol, no fragrance, no essential oils. And this is designed specifically for skin of color. So you can apply this on top. The only thing I would say is the 1 day a week that you use your Exfoliate to glow, you don't use the facial kit, you don't use retinol, you don't use anything else that's going to irritate the skin, because this can sensitize the skin, and you have to be very careful what you do after this.
Okay.
I'm happy for you to go in with your antioxidant power serum after your Exfoliate to glow, and you've washed this off, you pop this on, no problem. And then your Cera-Pep, no problem. But don't put on retinol after this, or the facial kit, or any other irritating ingredients.
Okay, because it can cause,
You don't want to damage the skin barrier. Yeah, correct.
Okay. So you can combine these,
You
which
can
is amazing.
combine them, exactly. So I literally made this for my face, right? So for me, I get melasma. So I made the facial kit for me, and then I made the rest of the range to go around the facial kit for my face. So this really is, you know, literally my labor of love.
It's fully trialed and tested before, obviously, you launch it, which is so
Exactly.
amazing to know that you've actually had the results from it. So how quickly can everyone else see results from these kits?
Really great question. So when you use an exfoliator, so for example, with Exfoliate to Glow, you will see immediate brightening of the skin. If you're using tyrosinase inhibitors, you are working on the basal layer. You're working on the melanocytes, the cells producing the pigment melanin, that are working overtime. You're trying to calm those down, but they're quite low down in the skin. They're on the basal layer. You have to wait for those skin cells to come to the surface. Now, I'm almost 40 years old. It takes about 40 days for my skin cells to come to the surface. So you want about 3 cell cycles, so 40 days times 3 for me to start seeing decent results. So it's not a quick process. You know, you are looking at about 3 to 4 months before you start seeing results, and really 6 months for you to, you know, feel more comfortable. So it is a long process, but this is how you get long-term results. If you just take off the top layer of skin, you see quick results, but guess what? Your skin is a living organ. Skin cells will come back to the surface. And if you haven't calmed down that melanocyte, the root cause, it's only going to come back again.
Okay.
So it's good for a temporary brightening, but it's not the way to get long-term results with exfoliation. Long-term exfoliation, you need your tyrosinase inhibitors and your SPF 50. You want to block any more UV hitting the skin and leading to more pigmentation.
So if you're consistent with this daily routine, you should tend to get results.
Correct, yes.
And what types of pigmentation can be treated with this kit?
Really good question. So there are key issues with us. For us, for example, is post-acne pigmentation is a big one for us. And that tends to be people in their 20s, 30s, maybe 40s. Then later we get melasma. So this is damage from UV. If you haven't been wearing your sunscreen, it tends to be genetic. It tends to start in your late 20s, early 30s. For me, it was my late 20s. Starts as tiny little freckles. People think it's cute. It's early pigmentation, early melasma.
Interesting.
And it's your skin telling you have not been taking care of your skin. You have not been wearing your SPF 50. And initially it's okay, right? But then what happens is they start to amalgamate and get bigger. They join up and they form patches on the skin and they spread to other parts of the face. And then you create almost like a map, a world map on your face of hyperpigmentation, melasma. And at that point, it's quite difficult to treat. You know, you don't even ever want to get to that point. My dream would be for everyone not to have to ever buy the facial pigmentation kit, to wear their sunscreens and wear their Inzincable, their SPF 50, and none of our children to ever suffer with melasma. That would be the dream. And I think we will be there. We'll be closer to that in the next generation because they are far more educated with their skincare than we are. We were at that point.
And it's good to know that I'm learning so much more myself as well. Because when I got freckles once, I just didn't realize. I just thought, oh, this is great.
Yes.
But it isn't because, it's damaged. There you go. So guys, make sure you are using your SPF, your Inzincables, doing the daily range and the routine. Where can everyone buy this amazing facial pigmentation kit?
So everything's available from Skincare by Dr. V, and we do ship globally. So hopefully everyone has access.
Brilliant. So this is a perfect kit for everyone for skin of color.
Thank you.
Enjoy.